Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to also announce the arrival of His Eminence, Sheikh Ramadan Mubaje. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Njenzi. 1 minute, Njenzi. Thank you very much, Njenzi. Ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, once again we welcome you to this swearing-in and inauguration ceremony of His Excellency the President. We welcome our visiting delegations and we welcome you to explore Uganda while you're here. We want to recognize our religious leaders and senior party leaders of the NRM, and at an opportune time, the PS of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be introducing the other political parties from across Africa and across the world that are represented here. We welcome the members of the diplomatic corps. We welcome our members of parliament. We welcome our cultural leaders. We welcome you, the public, members of the public who are here at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds, but also welcome you watching across the country and watching us across the world, across the various digital platforms, and listening to us across the digital radio platforms and, of course, the national radios. We welcome you on behalf of our Director of Ceremonies, Her Excellency the Vice President, myself, Maurice Mugisha, and Colonel Chris Magezi, led by our PS, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, will be assisting the Director of Ceremonies for this opening part of the swearing-in and inauguration ceremony. I want to welcome the Permanent Secretary and the Minister of Foreign Affairs to recognize some of our senior government leaders and, of course, some of our distinguished guests who have joined us this morning. You're most welcome, PS.
Distinguished guests, aides of delegations, once again, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all here at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for the swearing-in and inaugural ceremony of the President-elect of the Republic of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to proceed with presenting the milestones and/or highlights of His Excellency, the President's leadership from the period 1996 to 2006. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, during the period 1996 to 2006, again under the visionary leadership of President Museveni, we witnessed the strengthening of constitutionalism, the deepening of democratic governance, the pacification of our country, the broadening of economic reforms that laid the foundation for sustained national transformation. During the same period, we saw the operationalization of the 1995 Constitution, with many institutions being set up. And Ugandans, we are facilitated for the first time in 1996 to participate in a nationwide democratic process of directly electing a president in a free, fair, and transparent process. This historic milestone marked a turning point in the country's democratic journey, as a popular participation in the election of leaders was significantly enhanced at every level of governance, from the village councils all the way to the national parliament. His Excellency the President remained steadfast in the continuation of structured adjustment programs and implemented wide-ranging economic reforms aimed at restoring macroeconomic stability and stimulating sustainable growth. Of particular significance was the liberalization of the economy and privatization of government parastatals. These interventions brought competition in various sectors such as telecommunications, banking, and industries, leading to efficiencies in the economy. Within the same period, 1996-2006, and most significantly, the professionalization of the army continued, which had started with the transformation of the National Resistance Army to the Uganda People's Defense Force in accordance with the 1996 Constitution. It is also during this period that universal primary education was introduced in the country, particularly targeting Ugandans who would otherwise not afford to take their children to school. This period too marked the revival of the East African community, a process His Excellency the President spearheaded and continues to champion. Distinguished guests, allow me to note the arrival of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja. Right Honorable, you're very welcome. Distinguished guests, I would also like to note the arrival of our former Vice President, His Excellency Edward Chiwanuka Sekandi, and His Excellency Bukenya. You're very welcome, and thank you for gracing this occasion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vincent Bajire. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very good morning to all of you and welcome to this day that the Lord has made for this, our Republic of Uganda. And on behalf of the Director of Ceremonies, Her Excellency the Vice President, we want to invite you to enjoy our entertainment this morning. On the stage, we're inviting the Alur Agwara Cultural Troupe, who will be entertaining us shortly. But as they do that, we want to welcome our distinguished guests, our visiting heads of delegation who are here. We invite you to explore Uganda. We invite you to take a look at the screen and enjoy the flora and fauna of the Republic of Uganda.
Distinguished guests, allow me to announce the arrival of Her Excellency, the Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Alupo Epel, who shall also be the Director of Ceremonies this afternoon. Your Excellency, you're very welcome.
Coming on stage, ladies and gentlemen, the Alur Agwara Cultural Troupe, who will be entertaining us shortly as we welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, again we say explore Uganda. If you missed any of our beautiful videos of the various wildlife we have in this our beautiful country, we welcome you to enjoy the videos on the screen around this entire Kololo ceremonial grounds. We welcome you to share the images of today with the rest of the world as Uganda celebrates this, the inauguration day, this, the swearing-in day of His Excellency the President. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alur Agwara Cultural Troupe. On behalf of protocol, we are requesting that either non-protocol members, if you're not a member of the media, please clear the VIP area. Security and the protocol teams, let's clear this area. Her Excellency the Vice President will be joining us and we want to clear this area. So if you're not a member of the protocol teams, if you're not a member of the media, we would request that we clear this area to allow for protocol to receive Her Excellency the Vice President when she joins us, but also to allow for the free flow of our delegates as they make their way to the tent. So on behalf of the security teams and on behalf of protocol, we request that we clear the area in front of the tent to allow for our visitors to find their seats. And again, we humbly request, if you haven't found a seat in this tent, there is an overflow tent on this side, and we request the protocol teams, in case the main tent is full, to allow for dignitaries make their way to the overflow tent on our left, on this side. Protocol, please clear this area for the Vice President and her team. We will shortly be clearing this area to allow for our VIPs to make their way to their sitting area, but also allow for Her Excellency the Vice President to see her holding the right place. But also we request the VIPs to move a bit back and allow the protocol to manage the arrival of our DCO. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests and gentlemen, welcome to the White House, the venue for this historic function of the ceremony in the President's Day for another term in the next 5 years. In 2026, After one. with some of Uganda's leading tourist attractions. This is the good marketing trick that the organizers have followed today. Uganda is known for its beauty, for its beauty in the rain, and really welcome people. So welcome to our visitors and all of the guests who have arrived here for the morning rounds. Everything is going well. Our visitors and this is the thing that is going to arrive. The parade is fully Balaya Kamuna, Abaklava, Yamakuina, Yimona Kualio, Uria, some of the Yamuna, Mura Suga, Bato, the Home, Manuel, Yakulaisa, Rwanda, 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 this is the time you will come to our city. We welcome you for the ceremony grounds and we thank our entertainment troops for the outstanding job we've done to keep our guests well entertained. As the group leaves the stage, another theme is joining in. What an occasion to put up your best performance. Please come and take the stage. We do not want to leave our audience on. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the protocol teams, we are requesting that this tent is full. And we are requesting the protocol teams please allow our distinguished guests to make their way into the other tent. This tent is full, and we request all the protocol teams please do inform our distinguished guests that there is another tent on the side. And I humbly request protocol, allow for distinguished guests to make their way to the other tent. This tent has been fully occupied, and I would really request that the protocol teams manage that as we continue to receive our distinguished guests. And the PS will be running through some of our distinguished guests who arrived. Your Excellencies, heads of government and heads of states that have arrived, the heads of delegations that are here, and of course all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We welcome you to the Colonial Ceremonial Grounds on this inauguration and swearing-in ceremony day. We will continue to receive our cultural troops entertaining us from across the country, and shortly we will be inviting Museveni cultural troop to entertain us, but allow for the PS to recognize some of our distinguished guests and also share with us our transformation as a country as we continue to celebrate this day the Lord has made.
Thank you very much, Maurice. Distinguished guests, it is my honor to acknowledge the remarkable international presence and support at today's ceremony. We are honored to host several foreign dignitaries, including heads of state and government, vice presidents, speakers of parliament, prime ministers, Secretary Generals of various ruling parties across Africa, ministers, special envoys from across the world, and heads of diplomatic missions operated to Uganda. Also joining us today are representatives from regional bodies, international organizations, and development partners. Your Excellencies, the Director of Ceremonies, Our Excellency the Vice President, shall introduce you at the right time. Once again, welcome and enjoy the rest of the day.
We now want to invite to the stage Museveni cultural group who will be entertaining us as we continue to receive our distinguished guests. Museveni cultural group.
Thank you very much, Musanyusa Cultural Troupe. As the ASA Youth Initiative takes position, we want, in a very special way, to recognize the heads of government and heads of state that have joined us this morning. And at an opportune time, the Director of Ceremonies, Her Excellency the Vice President, will recognize our visiting heads of state and visiting heads of government that are joining us today. We will also recognize the heads of delegation from across the continent and from across the world that have joined us to recognize this historic day here in the Republic of Uganda. To you, our visiting delegates and distinguished guests, we invite you to explore Uganda. We invite you to explore this unique, beautiful power of Africa. We invite you to continue looking at the screens across the entire Colorado ceremonial grounds that will highlight the flora and fauna of this, our beautiful country, as we welcome you to the power of Africa. As a youth initiative, as you take position to entertain our distinguished guests, we want to welcome the global audience joining us across the digital platforms. We want to welcome the Ugandan diaspora that are joining us. Karibu sana. We want to welcome the Ugandans across the country watching and listening across the national televisions and radio stations. Welcome. On behalf of our Director of Ceremonies, we welcome you to this swearing in and inauguration day, as I invite the ASA Youth Initiative Group to entertain us. ASA Youth Initiative. All right, over to you.
Rwanda.